Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of dotnetFlix. We're here in Seattle at the Microsoft Build Conference 2017. We saw some awesome stuff and we also saw some announcements around .NET Core. And today we have a guest. This is Karel Zikmund, he's on the .NET Core team. And
hi everybody.
Yes, maybe you could introduce yourself and tell the people what you do on the team.
Alright, so I'm Karel Zikmund. I'm on the CoreFX team or .NET Core team for actually roughly right now 12 years. And the last, let's say, 9 months, I'm kind of community manager of the CoreFX repo, trying to make sure that we pay attention to community. We kind of have great way for them to come, be welcome, participate, submit PRs, bug reports, and then we focus on the right stuff.
Okay, so, and if you talk about PRs for people that have no experience in open source software, because that's what we're talking about here, what's a PR? And what do you have to do with PRs?
So what's a PR? Basically, PR is a pull request, and it's the GitHub way, or maybe it's even Git, I don't know, honestly. I'm myself actually newbie to that, kind of like the last 8 months. But anyway, the PR is a thing that you basically say, here's a change, and I have a fix for you, please take it, right? So that's what we do. We're trying to kind of not only do this stuff ourselves, as like .NET Core team, but if you have a bug that kind of bugs you, it's not quite on our priority list because maybe it's just you and maybe one other person in the world, you can go chip in, fix it, and we're gonna take it. And we're gonna make sure that it's kind of like high quality and everything. Point you to the points like testing and that stuff. But that's the power of open source that I see. That it's not you don't feel kind of you feel engaged. You can kind of chip in and you can help.
So is that only for bugs, or can you also submit change requests?
So what do you mean by change request?
Feature request.
Feature request. Yeah, it's actually open for everything. So for the features are slightly different in the sense, like especially features in CoreFX mean like larger APIs.
Yeah.
Don't have to be larger. We take those as well. Actually lately we took, I would say like in .NET Core 2.0 around 100 new APIs which are only on .NET Core 2.0.
Okay.
I would call them mostly like convenience APIs, like things that everyone does over and over again in the extension methods. It's like, oh, that bugs me. Cannot you just put it in the platform? So yeah, we can. Of course, like people sometimes come and like, I want this. It's like, you know what? I'm not quite using it right. So you have to be prepared for that as well. But if it makes sense and if the community agrees and if we agree that's the right thing and the right shape of the API, why not? So yeah, the sky's the limit.
And you talk about .NET Core 2.0 because that's a release that's coming.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that?
So
are all the bugs out of it, or we're close, right? Because I'm following you on Twitter.
So So .NET Core 2.0. So just 2 days ago on 5.10, we actually released the preview 1. So go and try it. Actually, this is the right time because for the next 2 to 3 weeks, the feedback, whatever we take, it's the time to get it and fix those bugs. And if it's kind of blockers of adoption and things, we still have a chance.
It's download those bits and start contributing and start looking at it.
To be honest, it's not the right time to say, oh, and then with this API. Like that's kind of like, what, you're gonna have to probably wait for the next release. Unless it's like, oh my gosh, we really miss it. It has to be there because everyone will need it. I think that we got that covered. So. So that's .NET Core 2.0. So what's .NET Core 2.0 about? Like it's 2.0. So hey, there's been 1.0 version and 1.1 version. The key value of the actual .NET Core 2.0 is that we brought in 20,000 more APIs from the .NET framework. So which is like a large number. Where did we start? We started actually at 13,000. So 13,000 is with .NET Core 1.1. So we more than doubled it. Like I think it's 150%. In .NET Core 2.0, and we're now pretty confident that at least with the API surface we have, like it's going to be easy for people to migrate from full .NET framework if they want to. And actually another thing, like what's .NET Core 2.0 for? Like the key target audience, and when you can go and pick it up, is really microservices and console applications. Those are the 2 key workloads for .NET Core.
So no front ends and no user interfaces.
We don't have UIs. That's Xamarin or UWP or actually WPF on the back, or WinForms even. If you're a really old timer. On .NET framework. So we're not trying to compete with that. Might come in the future. There's no promises, no big no's. But right now it's really tailored at the server side and on kind of the new modern workloads where we really are getting benefits from .NET Core being cross-platform, so it works on Linux, works on Mac.
Yep.
You know, we meet you where you are, on Windows of course as
Yeah,
well.
don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a totally different
Yeah.
world out there.
We are focusing on performance, so things that are not so easy to do in the big framework, right? Because you need to move very fast and things.
Yeah.
We kind of can experiment with them on .NET Core. We can be ahead of the game. Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
Okay. And if you talk about APIs, there is a lot of API servers coming in 2.0. How does that tie into the .NET Standard? Because that's also a lot of talk about .NET Standard on the conference, and also that .NET Standard 2.0 is coming out.
Yeah.
And could you elaborate on that?
So the .NET Standard 2.0 is basically, that's the common set of APIs, which we promise is going to be same across all the platforms.
Okay.
So there are actually 4 platforms. There's the big traditional .NET framework in part of Windows. There's .NET Core, this new shiny, great platform we have. There's actually UWP for the for the Universal Windows platform applications, right? And there's actually Xamarin or /Mono, whatever label you call it, which are actually for cross-platform iOS and Android applications.
Yeah.
So all those, the .NET Standard is basically saying like, hey, if you're at the .NET Standard and the platform supports the .NET Standard, you're gonna have, it's gonna work on all those 4 platforms.
Okay, cool.
So it's great for libraries. For applications, not really useful, but for libraries, if you want a library like JSON.NET or whatever favorite thing, targeting those things and share kind of source code, or not only source code, but binaries, just binaries among the platforms. That's the right.
So this is also the right time to get your existing applications with the existing libraries, and they will work. And now it's time to start porting them. If you have advantages in that, to start porting them to the
And especially I think if you're the owner of a NuGet package,
Exists, yeah.
2.0 release maybe a good time to support that.
That would be
package.
that would be great time for the .NET Standard, and you can as well try the .NET Core for your application. If you want to see, how much we could sped up, your application, and how it's smaller and everything. Yeah, that's great.
And if people want to contribute to .NET Core, what do they need to do? What's the first step, and how can you help us?
So we can definitely help, and the first step is read the docs. The good news is that on the main page, of CoreFX repo or CoreCR repo, we actually have, instructions. Right now they're under construction. With community effort, actually trying to improve them to make it really easy for any first-time contributor or onto the repo to kind of come and be successful. That's actually where you guys helped a little bit with the documentation as well, and you actually, dog-fooded that stuff, right? So I think we're doing pretty good. We have like people excited about that stuff. We got actually lately from you and from other people feedback like, oh great, I jumped in and people helped me. They didn't kind of tell me like, oh you're wrong, go away, right? They walked me through that. So that's what we're really trying to do on the team. We welcome the community, and the documentation is not there yet, but give us a couple of more weeks. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be perfect.
And if you wanna, if people think, well, this documentation isn't right or it isn't complete, just contribute.
Exactly.
Because also the documentation is up on GitHub, is open source. So
it's actually even better. So the documentation, actually we moved it to Wiki on GitHub. There's a Wiki, and actually we flipped it to read write to everyone. So so there's no the PR process. There's no code review and that stuff. You want to add comment, go and edit that. So it kind of it's kind of our attempt to make the kind of cycle of contribution or kind of collaboration even faster. It's not going to be like that forever. When the documentation is good enough, we're going to move it into the PR system, into the main docs. But right now, when you want to really super fast and don't want to be blocked on waiting 24 hours to someone review it and is it right and I don't like this word and that word, like no, just dump it there. It's all open. So
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us here in it's now
rainy
balmy,
Seattle.
rainy Seattle. We had a couple of pretty good days. Now it's raining. Have a great time at the conference the last day, and thank you for talking to us.
It was nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
And thank you for the great hackathon that you guys did in the Netherlands, right?
Yes, in the Netherlands, and we will be doing more like that.
And we're actually planning together to do more, and maybe even thinking eventually do some worldwide, hackathon. We have Twitter channels and things, so we're trying to think. Actually, one thing that I would like to tell to people, we're actually planning to do as well community stand-ups, started for CoreFX. And the idea is to actually have a dialogue with top contributors on the repo. You know, what are we missing? You know, hey, you know, maybe some people are hopping, you know, computers every day or something because they are at college or something, and we are not optimized for that. So that's what we're kind of trying to get that feedback to, as well as a result, make it easier for the first-time contributors. And once we have those, we're gonna record those probably via channel 9, and you know, you can then watch, come and watch the CoreFX.
And we will definitely, from the Dutch chapter, so to speak, we will contribute, and we will also promote contributing to open source. So we will help each other in that.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode of dotnetFlix. Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.